All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Buffalo Bills and the New Orleans Saints. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Allen looks to throw on second down. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. Finding some room at midfield. And down to the 16-yard line. A big play there out of Cook. 48 yards on the ground. They had trouble stopping the run last week in a loss, and here it rears its ugly head early.
You're supposed to try and get your confidence going after a loss like that where you gave up big yards running the football. This is not the way to go about it. It looks exactly as it did just a week ago.
To the air. Allen. That's complete. Right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going.
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bills take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Hauschka adds the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw on second down is Stafford. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jabal Sheard able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Set. 180. Hey, tag 50 left. Hey, 22.
From the gun, here's Stafford. Fighting under pressure again, and down he goes again. And Ndamukong Suh in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Allen. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. George Kittle, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills will extend their lead. Hauschka with the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Stafford on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now Stafford shakes off the sack. Buying time to his left. Dancing to his left. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
On the ball, on the ball. Zero. Everyone's got 4 down.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford escaping the pressure right. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 and a 1st down. A give to Henry. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. And there on the tackle, Shaq Lawson. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Jabal Sheard in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Play action. Stafford. Going up top. He rifles one that's intercepted. Tedrick Thompson picks it. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Buffalo Bills and the New Orleans Saints. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Comes to Cook. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now a first carry for Isaiah Crowell. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They go play action here on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On second down, here's Henry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it.
Here we go.
Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Steps away. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Shaq Lawson in there to sack him. And that is 10 for him now on the year. Now Lutz for the field goal try. This from 54 yards away. And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright. And this will remain a scoreless game. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Gets past one man. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down, here's Allen. Now he's going to go deep down the left. It's caught inside the 25. And that one results in 35 yards. Great patience in the pocket. Of course, it's easy to be patient when the protection's good, and it was.
Yeah, you've got to pat those guys on the helmet and say thanks because they gave him plenty of time to stay back there, survey the field, go through the reads that he wanted to, and deliver the ball accurately. That was really well executed.
Throwing now is Allen. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. In for the score. And the Bills have taken the early lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Henry. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Bringing him to the ground defensively, Tedrick Thompson.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, That's a big-time play by the defense.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
On every snap, a defense is trying to establish who they are, but on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. On the ground with a tight end. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first.
4th and 1. I don't think Wild Horses could have dragged that quarterback off the field. He was motioning to go for it from the start. And sure enough, it's the ground game that gets him the first down.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. And he's taken down inside the 30. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Down to the 25. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Like 7. We got 3, fellas. We got 3. 22.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Being chased, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Shaq Lawson in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Let's go, Ryan. Let's go. Tight end right. Tight end right. Hey. You got 3. Zebra.
On 3rd down, Henry. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So 2 missed field goals for him now, and that's helped keep them with a big 0 on the scoreboard.
Well, it's not the only reason they have a 0. The offense has been bogged down a few times now, but it's certainly not helping the cause any at all.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at the 34.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
They start the drive with Cook. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Marcus Davenport there to take him down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Throwing is Allen on third. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And Jones has it over the middle. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now Allen throwing on second down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. A give. This is Cook. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL and picking up first downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on 1st and 2nd down. Because that leaves them 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it?
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now Allen. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bills will add on to their lead.
We see this route all the time, but when it's well executed, it's a beauty.
And it feels like the fade takes forever to develop, like that ball is just hanging in the air.
And the reason why is that the receiver is trying his best to work the defender inside and give himself space to fade away from him and catch the football, and that's exactly what happened there.
Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Preston Brown in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. And they take a knee. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They're in tight formation, not going to take any chances, down to a knee, and that should do it for the first half. Now the veteran punter for the Saints, Thomas Morstead, on to punt on 4th down. And from down in Miami, an update. The Dolphins have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Cook. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll also wind up being the final play of this first half. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And Hauschka's kick is good. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
To throw on 2nd down. Stafford, he dumps it off for Henry. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down. Stafford, and he's able to find Diggs. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. And they take him down. The Bills get to him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. That'll get them some of what they needed, but they're still left here with a 3rd and 9 forthcoming. Back to throw, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary, incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, the fact you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 9 yards is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard.
No, check, Patriot!
Again, it's Cook. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. He's got a man. It's Corey Coleman. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Corey Coleman, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bills will extend their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side, because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
21.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford looking long for Thomas. That's caught inside the 20. And he is down deep into Buffalo territory. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 52 yards. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. A first down carry for Henry. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
To throw on 2nd down. Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And Lutz puts this one through. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills' offense. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they've just expanded that here in the second half.
And it appears there are no answers from the defensive side. I think right now, if I'm the coordinator, if I'm down on the field, if I'm wearing a hat, I've already thrown it. If it's a visor, it's sailed, right? My game plan is down by my feet right now because nothing I've drawn up appears to be working.
Well, he's going to have to find something right now to stop this offense.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They run it again with Cook. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now Cook. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 2nd down, Cook. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. That escapes the sack, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
They'll be going for 6. Now a first down throw. Stafford going deep for Diggs. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Tedrick Thompson picks it, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They run, Cook. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Now let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down. And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. This to equal Matt Prater's record. It's a 64-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. So there you go, partner. How about that?
Oh, that was pretty cool.
That will tie the all-time record set by Matt Prater of the Broncos back in 2013.
And you know, when Prater hit from 64, that was like breaking DiMaggio's streak or breaking the 4-minute mile of Bannister. Tom Dempsey, 63, that was a legendary number. So to top that here, even if it just ties the record, pretty darn awesome.
Big 20.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Again, it's Henry. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here we go.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Trail right, 22.
We got three, fellas, we got 3.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Hey, we got 3 now.
Listen, tap.
And they will take a knee here. The last 2 plays, each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with 1 in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for the Bills, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, it's another week, another loss, as they fall now